And Tom, we're back. Mario RPG. Bet your ass we're doing this shit again. We're not gonna stop.
What are you doing this shit again? We haven't stopped. Just keep going. Just keep rolling. Huh!
No, you'll be loving this shit right here. Go IMP Biscuit in the house. People in the air. I don't remember this. Put your hands in the air, cause if you don't care, then we don't care. That's Limp Bizkit.
I don't remember.
That's okay, nobody needs to remember that. Tom, Bleach.
Yeah. What about
We're going to Bleach next.
Okay.
Tom,
Another super long-running anime series.
I am going to go on the side about how Bleach is actually really good. I enjoy Bleach.
I don't know, like I was talking about with Dragon Ball Z last time, is just the constant one-upsmanship that you have to have, where you just have to keep upping yourself. You can never, once you see the progression all the way through, going back is really, really tough to watch.
It's rough. Well, basically because it changes art style. I don't know if you noticed that, like, as the seasons get better, and obviously more people have started watching it, like, it looks better. And, wow, you are the best platformer of all time. I enjoy Bleach, just based on the fact... Wow.
He's like, hey, what you doing?
That Shy Guy's like, oh, hell no. You got Gino?
Yeah, like, with all of these long-running things, it's just that constant one-upsmanship that makes these things impossible to go back and watch again.
Well,
just because it's just like, oh, now he, like, can't do anything.
Yeah, now he's getting his ass kicked with his best moves.
It's just like, you can be... Oops.
Those ones make you
fuckers.
lose money. I knew that.
You can be like, oh, but now you get to see the origin story where he got his beginning. It's just like, his beginning sucked. Like, all of them is just like, ow.
Well, see, I wouldn't say that. Like, when you learn about the beginning of, like, the past story of Byakuya. Yeah. For example, like
well,
he's cool.
No. The backstory of Urahara, you mean?
Yeah, like, when you get his in the middle, for some ungodly reason, it's just put as a filler in the middle of, like, season 8.
Yeah, it was
and you're
really
like, holy shit, this guy's a badass.
Yeah.
Why did he get exiled?
Yeah.
And
well,
then
you know why he got exiled, because that's what it tells you.
Yeah, but no, like, I'm saying, like, when you first meet him in season 1.
Yeah, he's just
or season
some
2, you're
guy
like,
who's pretty smart.
Yeah, who's this fucker in green armor that you don't know about?
And clogs as well.
Yeah, like, why is he wearing sandals? But as you find out with him, basically, like, you know, if you make it 9 seasons through, you're like, this guy is probably the coolest character in the show.
But the downside with it is they never expand on him. Ever.
Nope.
Ever. You get to see a little glimpse here, the little glimpse there, and he's awesome.
Like,
but then they just never fucking expand on it.
Like, for example, I understand what you're saying. Like, during that little, like, filler arc, you're like, fuck, this guy is cool. I want to learn. You see him fight one time. And it's not even like him fighting, but you see him channel like a level 80 or 90 spell, and you're like, holy shit, this guy can do that? Like Rukia, the main character, for the most part, that you see, can only do like Hado numbers like, what, 50?
Yeah, and
he does like a
70, 80, he's just like nothing.
And you're like, holy shit. And then if you manage to make it all the way through like 280 episodes, you get to the end of the Aizen arc, where Aizen finally gets defeated. Spoilers. I don't care. This has been all for
the bad guy gets beat.
Yeah, the bad guy loses.
Oh
no. Well, it's weird. I'm gonna, you know how he dies, you know, Ichigo. No, I'm gonna call him Ichiro because he's a baseball player. Anywho, Ichigo, he goes and he trains with his dad and learns the final Zangetsu, which is fucking cool, by the way. And he's fighting Aizen, and he's able to catch his blade, and he stops this blade, and all of a sudden you just see a mountain blow up. And then Aizen's like, oh, you tremble upon my power. But then you find out that Ichigo's like, yeah, that was me. That wasn't you. And you're like, holy shit. And he gives up all of his Renji.
Hold on a sec. I need to do the race.
Anywho, so he learns how to like hide his Renji, or what is it called, like Renji, right?
Yeah.
He learns how to stop that, and I'm basically training him for brute force, and
that makes no sense.
Wow,
I don't understand the rhythm of this.
No, and it's weird because like he gets all this power, and you're like, this guy is fucking badass. And then all of a sudden, he kills Aizen.
Yeah.
Spoiler, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He comes back, and he's human form more, and he's like, you can't stop me. But then you find out that Urahara actually put, is it Kido or kind of?
Well, yeah,
You know, he puts a spell on him that it only activates...
it's on the item that he used that,
the Hokyoku.
Yeah.
Yeah, he puts a spell on that, though, that's super powerful, that you're like, when did he do this? And how did he do this? And then you come to find out if
it only works if his power lapses, which is what Ichigo made him do by using that ultimate
And
technique.
The weird thing is that you find this out, like, when you watch that, when he fights, when he first sees Aizen, that was like in season 9.
Yeah.
And, you know, that backstory, that he placed this then.
Mm-hmm.
And that is like 2 years.
Yep.
And you're like, how did he plan this out for 2 motherfucking years? Okay, I'm gonna let you do this, and then I'm gonna rant.
Oh shit!
Head at the end. But like, yeah, like if you ask me, Urahara is probably the greatest character in that show. Mostly because you know very little about him, and then once you kind of see what he's capable of in these little glimpses, and like every arc, you're like, he's like, yeah, we need to do this because I've already created this. Who knows how long ago when he created this?
So long ago.
And like even in this final arc, which spoiler alert, Aizen's still alive, and he uses Aizen to get back up to the Soul King's palace.
Yeah.
And you're like, how smart is this guy? And you find out that he's fucking very intelligent. But the problem is you know Ichigo's strength, you know Byakuya's, Rukia, Renji, Chad, Orihime, you know all of these characters. Orihime changed, by the way, that she can all of a sudden
they should have just honestly never kept the the humans with powers. Like, they should have just honestly gotten rid of that concept very early on.
I agree with that, but like
it's just not that interesting, and they never win.
But like when you find this stuff out, every time you watch an episode and you see Urahara in it, or you read the manga with him, you're like, like every time you see him, you question yourself, like I do, how strong is this guy? Because he's clearly the smartest person in the whole entire anime.
Yep.
But when he fights that one time you see him, he is strong. And then you're like, well, how strong is he? Because you get this like feeling that he didn't try. You know, like you see him when he trains Ichigo and he uses the is it called like Genji suits or whatever? Basically the clone of himself that's a balloon. You see him use this stuff, but you never see his true power.
Yeah.
But like you see like Chad's fucking dope. Like when he gets that El Diablo in the Arrancar arc, when they're in Wakamundo, it's weird. Like it doesn't fit the whole entire arc. It makes no sense.
There.
Like Urahara, or not Urahara, Orihime, she's cool because you find out like you think that she can heal you, but it turns out she turns back time.
But I hate it when anything brings up time. into things where it's just
it's a hard...
because as soon as you do that, then you have this mechanic that you then use as an excuse to do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, you're like,
because,
well,
now you can just fuck with time.
Yeah, you're like, I didn't like how that worked. Let's go back in time quick and fix that.
Yeah.
Or you tend to, when you have that ability...
Here's Bowser and his shitty army now. 6 people.
Down to 6. He doesn't even have the fucking...
The
nut
Koopas.
guys. Yeah. But, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you have that ability to turn back time, you kind of use it as an excuse to redo things that the audience said, this is fucking gay.
Yeah.
And I don't mean it as, like, to use the word gay that way. It's like lame.
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
we can have an entire discussion about the use of words.
Yeah, but that, you know, that's what I mean by that one, is it's different. And, like, you can use it as an excuse to fix mistakes, which I don't feel is right.
Well, I mean, well, there's ups and downs to it. Because, I mean, obviously if you made something that you are proud of, but the audience isn't proud of, there's an iffy gray area there. There's the area where it's just like, neither you were proud of it, nor the audience was, where it's just like, maybe you might have a chance to redo it, but like, it's just... I'd rather you think it through and have it be a good story at the beginning.
And that's where, like, Bleach is a great manga/anime up until the end of the Aizen arc.
Which, like, I'm not the biggest fan of the end of the Aizen arc, where it's just like, I can understand you doing some of that stuff in the beginning of it, where Aizen and Urahara are, like, the smartest people ever made, where they can just predict so many things far up in the future just because of their knowledge.
Yep.
But it's just so dumb when you bring that up that at the end where it's just like, oh, all that progress and all those things you did, yeah, I just counted on that, and then I placed a magic spell that cancels out his magic. Yeah. It's just like, that's just not an enjoyable outcome to the end of it.
If you think about it though, and if say it ends like that, where all of a sudden Aizen's captured, Ichigo's no longer a Soul Reaper, okay? His powers are gone.
Yeah.
He gives them all up. And so he's no longer able to see into that world. Like, to me, that closes the arc. I mean, yeah, you don't get the story behind his dad's abilities and stuff, which his dad's still not at full power, from my understanding, as he states.
They kind of mash with him a lot.
But he's one of the most interesting characters in it, too.
He is, but they just never expand on it. They have this potential to expand on these badass characters and stuff that they've done, and they just continue to expand on the regular characters and the people that no one cares about.
Yeah, like if they were to go and expand on his dad. If you ask me...
His dad, what's his face?
Shin's dad? Do they...
Yeah. Fuck, I can't remember his name right now. Fuck, it starts... The stupid archer dude, I can't...
Ishida?
Yeah, his father. The fact that he knows...
His dad.
He knows...
Like, they know each other.
He knows Ichigo's dad. And
but the
fact that they've like, had conversations mid all this stuff going on. And that's it.
Yeah,
that's all they had is the conversation. And you never fucking expand on it. This is a thing that you could do so well and have something really interesting happening on it, and it's just like, nope, we're gonna continue expanding on these 3 people, of which you only carry about 1 of them.
Exactly. And the weird thing to me is, like, Ichigo's dad is an interesting character because you find out that he lost his power and now he's slowly gaining it back, and he teaches Ichigo this final form to talk to his sword and learn his name.
Turns out he also, like, I wish they would have added it earlier, but they found out that he married a Quincy.
Exactly.
Who are direct enemies of Shinigami.
Yeah, so he marries this girl that's a Quincy, which is an archer-based Renji spirit. Yeah. Which is cool with me, but, like, to me, tell me more about his dad's backstory. Like, to me, is the only thing that makes sense to me is his dad was he was one of the guards of the Soul King. Yeah. And then he marries this, but how does he lose that power? Like, to me, that is a big part of the puzzle that they have yet to address.
Yeah, pretty much.
And because if his dad, to me, like, I guarantee this is what's gonna happen, based on my speculation, is that his dad was actually one of the. It's the only thing that makes sense to me, is that his dad was so strong that he had to have been a. What do you call it? Like a guard? You know, to me, he was the #1 guy for the Soul King. But what the fuck happened? Like, did he willingly give up powers? Because Ichigo, like, they kind of mentioned that, oh, like, everybody's like, you look like your mom.
Yeah.
But you never see his mom. Like,
yeah, until you get to the shitty end arc that it's on now.
Yeah, and, like, I want to know more because that part is so integral to this. They built it up for 11 seasons. Or 12 seasons, whatever it's on, and this piece of the puzzle, you have a 900-piece puzzle, and you have 889 pieces, except this one piece that's in the middle, that's, like, say it's a picture of a wolf, and that's its fucking head. Like, this is, like, the main piece, and once you figure out that piece, then you start dominoing down.
Yeah.
Everything starts making more sense, but for that they want to rush and get this season done, they're just not giving you that piece.
No.
Like, if they give you that little backstory, it will change the whole. Like, when they tell us that, I mean, we've been watching this for fucking 5 years, 6 years. When they give us that piece, we're gonna be like, it all makes sense, and then you're gonna feel whole. Like, when I get that piece, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm done with this. I know everything and I can move on. I'm satisfied with Bleach. But until they tell me what happens to his dad and what happens to his mom, if they end the series without giving me those 2 details, or what happened between his mom and Ishida's dad, I need those 3 pieces. Once those 3 pieces, I don't even give a fuck about this new bad guy that happened. I don't care. I don't care about any of the other bad guys that showed up. I don't care about Aizen anymore. That arc's done. He's chained up. He's done. And now they reintroduce Grimjow, which I understand that he never died. They never stated that or showed that he got cut in half or anything. Whatever. I get it. And what happened in the past between those 3 people will close that series for me. Like, if they ended without telling those 3 pieces.
You're watching the series to not watch the series anymore. You're watching and searching for one bit of information that will give you closure. That's the sign of a series that you just need to stop.
It's done to me. It needs that pieces. if you don't have those 3 pieces, the series is done.
Yeah,
it's not worth ever watching.
That and you're constantly just making. It's just a constant stream of new enemies that mean nothing, that have abilities where it's just like, really? I mean, you're really running out of ideas here. Just end it. Just finish. That's all you gotta do.
That's where I'm at with that. I love Bleach, but until they give me those 3 pieces, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think that rounds out the Bleach conversation. So, yeah. So,
on that note,
we're done.